Okay, so we're gonna start doing some methods. Uh, let's save that. And I know some of you have done some in the past because you've looked this up, but this is the first one for me. And I'm gonna kind of show you how I would like it, uh, I'll say formatted in a way. So what we're gonna try to do to keep it consistent with the way other programming languages work is we're gonna have one called the main method. And we're going to make sure that all other methods go in here. And I'm going to explain what it means to call as opposed to define it. But what we're going to do is we're going to just, this one here will just have the methods that we want to run. And then at the end of our code, this one line will make everything work. Oh, this should not be tabbed though. So this is our one line that's going to make everything work at the end because it's going to call from here. So this is the difference between our methods. Everything you type in this def here, so def means I'm going to define, and then you write your method name, which is always going to show up in blue, and then you have to have brackets. For today, we're going to have brackets that just do not, like there's nothing in the brackets, it's just going to be brackets. So this is how you define a method, hence the def. The way you call the method is you just write down whatever it is, and it'll do whatever's in here. So for now, if I did this, print this is my first method, which we won't necessarily do ever, but like just for the sake of doing it, Python reads this, goes, okay, cool. Whenever I see this main, I'm going to do this stuff. So I'm going to skip over this for now because it's not, I'm not going to waste time thinking about it if I don't need it. It reads through, goes, okay, comment, blank, 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 main. Okay, now I need to go find this main method. Where is it? Goes, searches through all the definitions and goes, here it is. I'm going to do everything in here. So it works exactly like our code used to. It's just the biggest change we have now is that we're going to call a method and it's going to go find that method and do this. We do use methods to make programs more what is called modular. Because we want to make sure that everything that has its own specific function has its own method. So if you think about what game, the pig dice game, let's say, I would have said, ideally now you could go back and make your player one turn into a method, your player two turn into a method, and then your main method would just kind of flip flop between them. You could even have a method for calculating the winner, so then you didn't have to rewrite that every time. And even actually, you could actually just have one player turn, and when we learn more about it, you can actually make it so then it switches between the players. So that would have helped a lot. Like, so let's say you had maybe 150, 200 lines, I don't know, offhand, but like say you had all that, you could have done it as a method with both players, with like everyone who's a user has that turn that follows the same procedure, has a method to like check for a winner that gets called inside each player turn, and then your main method would be two lines: player turn, actually, yeah, maybe like get user info, maybe more than two lines, but like get the user info, um, run player one turn, switch to player two turn, and that would be it. And it would actually know how to end in its side itself. It takes a lot more thinking to make it that efficient, but we're going to get there slowly. So we're not going to have this anymore. But what we're going to do here is I'm going to define a new method here. Get user input. So you can actually make this into a method and then say first name is equal to input. Enter your name. Now, we can't do much else with this right now because we're going to work our way towards making things go between methods. We're not going to do that today. Today, we're just going to make methods and make them call things nicely. So enter first name age. So this is kind of going back to what we did before, like right at the beginning. Age, enter your age. We will get pretty advanced pretty quickly. I just want to make sure that we can do the basic methods. So when this main gets called, we're going to do get user input. And then I can keep adding to this. But until I put, gotta point with mouse, until I put this in here, when I run it, because this is the only method that will run, it wouldn't have done anything. And then we can just do here, print, hello. So if we do this, oh, that's why it's first name. I was coding something else before, and that's why just name. Okay. Damn. Oh. Can't. That's what happens when you just try to type in random things. Boom. So this works so far. Nothing too crazy. All simple. All what we've done before. And these methods that we're making right now, the fancy name for them is they are void methods because they don't give back any information. They just do something. They run and then they do something for you. They don't actually work in conjunction with each other. So the fact that they're standalone makes them what we call void methods. If we wanted to do here def get area length is equal to int input enter length. You have to put bracket or quotes around you. Sometimes I forget how long I talk. Sorry, that's why it kind of feels rushed sometimes. And then what we'll do here, where is this? Here, copy, paste, and then we have here width. And we need E in the front of this, enter. And then we get here. I'm just going to print. Area is, and then in brackets, length times width. And the cool thing is, if you wanted to make your own menu, you could make your own menu method, which I wouldn't do yet, but what you can do is, here we can say print select, and this is where I'm going to do the triple brackets here. Actually, and what I'm going to do is say select from the following, and 1 for message and 2 for math. And then here's where we're going to just say choice is equal to int input enter your selection here, and then I just say if choice equals 1, I'm going to do this method, elif choice equals 2. I'm going to do the get area method, else, oh, I need print error, not valid. And we could actually do a while loop for this. Like while it's not 1 or 2, it'll just say error. Or while it is 1 or 2, it'll say error. Like we can do our check for that. So this is kind of like quick basic. So, and here are my choices. 2, enter your length, 34, 55. There's my area. Now, if it looped, it would have gone through the same, it would have gone back to the main menu and then asked it again. So here is how you can make, you can use if statements inside of here. We can use loops inside these methods. These methods aren't stuck with just being a print, an input. Like all the code we've been doing to now works inside of these methods. Just what you want to do for good practices, start with your main, make that be the starting point of your code, and then have all other methods that we are going to define here. And so these are method definitions. Even this main is a method definition. This is a method call. This is a method call. And I want to keep it like this, where you have a main, all these subsequent methods that help, and then just calling it from the main. So then it keeps it clean, keeps it efficient. And when you, if I'm assuming you'll come to grade 12 as well. And when you go to Java, you start with the main method and you type everything in that main method and it runs on its own there. So you kind of get that transition nicely now, where you're like, oh, now I just have everything goes inside of this main, which in retrospect should have started with that, but maybe next year. Sorry. Okay, but that's it for today. Just basic methods. Next week we'll do more advanced ones, so it'll be a lot more fun.